Hi, everybody. This is Angel Arts, and welcome back to another episode of Mass Effect Revolution. This is lucky session number 13. And as you can see, we have a much larger cast today because we are now being reunited by two guest characters slash players from season one. So, welcome and thank you so much for coming, both Malik and Nell. Thank you guys. Malik is back to reprise the role of Aya Rowlett, and Nell is going to be reprising the role of Lun Rowlett now. So, one of the first things we're going to do is I'm gonna give Lun, or actually Malik and Nell, time to give us, as their warm up question, an update on what exactly has been going on with Aya and Lun over the last 10 years, however much detail they'd like to give. For the rest of the four, I thought that because so much has happened within the last few sessions, and we haven't done this as a warm up for a while, I think it's time to come back again to having your warm up be another journal entry. So if we were to pause what's happening in the story right now, and hypothetically, if your character had a chance to write something in their journal, their diary, what have you, what would they say right now? Since I think there's a lot that's been happening. So we will start, however, with our guest players.
The big thing, I guess you could say, is that Aya and Lun are like together, fully, officially, with a little certificate somewhere signed and a silver ring.
It makes the bills easier if it just comes under the same name. That'll forever be Lun's reasoning for it.
It's tax purposes.
Of course. I mean, like, you gotta, like, when you are, like, as well off as we are, you gotta have a tax, like, some way to avoid the tax collectors. Usually it's gunfire, but other times, like, it's easier when it's done by contract. Yeah, but no, Aya runs her own, like, small mercenary group. We, like, have about 30 people or so of various races and genders and all that stuff. Have a tendency to, like, we take the jobs that we want to take. Like, people can come to us and we will say either yes or no depending on how we're feeling about it. But yeah.
Well, while Aya does her merc work, Lun, for some unknown reason to the universe of why anyone let him be one, he is a teacher at a prestige school.
Can you describe what the school is like?
It is a very fancy, renovated mansion owned by Basari. There, brain. It accepts only the best of the best with very high tuition fees.
Do any of the main cast players have additional questions about
I have one.
Ireland?
That's
Go
cool.
ahead. Yes, please
So-
ask.
This is one that's kind of more directed at Nell and Lun, but Nathan's biotic tests were very high up on the charts, and he ended up at Grissom. How do you think Lun would feel about this A-class student who turned out being one of the best biotoball players in the galaxy, if not the best, arguably? How do you
Well,
think
there is a saying at the school that Lun comes from. Those who can do go on to extreme roles. Those who can't play biotic ball.
Well, I mean, Nathan's
there's a
making
very
millions.
there's a very nice folder that gets sent to Jax of the ones who are not up to caliber.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Nathan would have just looked at it and threw it into the garbage and been like, I make millions, I'm very well loved, and I run charities. I don't give a shit about your school.
Well, Lun will then respond with, well, once you get that injury, what do you do then?
Nathan's never been injured. He's very much he's very much been an Iron Man. He's never had an injury.
say
He's never missed
never.
a game. With Nathan's physical abilities, you'd be surprised.
Things
So, yes.
can change on a dime.
And then that's when Aya pulls out a baseball bat and just destroys one of his knees.
Oh my god.
Yes. So one detail about the school is they don't play Bayada ball because that's just unnecessary. Not very good use of your skills, I think, is what the attitude is.
Fair enough.
So
I
that'll
mean,
be
why
interesting.
why waste your time on a silly sport when you can flay people alive with your mind?
I mean, we are producing the top commanders over here, special op units, you name it.
That's probably a good reason, all right. Nathan wouldn't have been interested in that. He's like, I'm not really interested in joining the military. That's something that he never really was interested in.
Sounds like sour grapes to me.
It could be. Could be a little bit of
I'm
sour
just-
grapes, actually. There could be a small bit of sour grapes in there.
I'm just joking around. Okay. Who does anyone else have a question about Nell or Aya or Lun or Aya? Yes, go ahead, Astra.
So why did they pick the Red Universe to stay? Yeah,
Oh, why did they pick the Red Universe to stay?
If I remember right, it was something about this is where the Reapers got destroyed,
Yes.
and of virtue of being from a universe where the Reapers won the war, that was kind of like at least for Aya, that was a big thing about that.
Also, if I remember, it was the Vault chose unanimously, probably because of that reason, the Red Universe. It was only really Darren and Chen who went green.
Yeah.
But if you both had the chance to go to another universe now that time passed, would you pick another one or just
Or
stay
would
where
you
you are?
stay?
I think Lun's still a bit bitter that Darren and Chen chose green and kind of just abandoned the family that they made. They've established quite a good life in Red, so I think he's not
Yeah.
willing to change.
Yeah, I don't think Aya sees a reason to leave. If anything, it would be okay if we got the chance to visit and say hi to the people we met during the whole thing before, maybe, but no, not to live in a different place now.
We established that everyone for season 1 had ways to communicate with each other across universes. So you all, I'm sure, have been kept in touch. For example, you both know about Trissy birthing another child. Like you know about your brother, your green brother and Elias getting married, and you probably have seen videos. So you're up to date. You've been kept in connection if you wish to keep in connection with what's been going on with everybody.
Plus now
yeah.
at this stage, you've all made like lives. You've all got you've all kind of settled down in a way. Like, you know, you've got your Merc job and Nell has his teaching. Leaving now would kind of be like just spitting all that out the window, going somewhere else, like, you know.
There was in the last 10 years any encounter, or did you meet with someone in the Red Universe that changed how you are, how your character behaves and acts now, or they didn't meet anyone of importance?
Oh, I see. Was there anyone they met in the last 10 years that made some sort of significant impact on how they are now? That's a good question.
I mean, Lun has Chris. I think Chris definitely kind of brought out a softer side of Lun, even though he does sometimes frustrate Lun with his kind of quirkiness. I mean, I did think about it, like, after we finished. It's like, if Aya and Lun hadn't been a thing, Chris and Lun might have.
That is interesting. I did not know that.
Aya did step in there first.
Yeah.
For Aya, there's no real there's not an encounter specifically. It's more just like the general getting older and living longer than she ever expected to.
Oh,
In a way, because in many ways, originally she expected to, in some way, with her her list of people that in the end that would kill her, and it didn't because now all the Reapers came, and then she thought, okay, then the Reaper War will kill her, and then no, then came the whole collision event. Then okay, then this conflict will do it, and then no, just kept going anyway.
I just can't die.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost did.
Yeah.
Yes. You and Vito need to talk about that. Vito also wants to die sooner.
It is not for lack of trying. I think I did draw an updated thing of her with more scars and fun things, including a big gash over an eye.
Did she lose the other arm so that matches?
No.
Oh.
As a result of that, would she like try to keep to herself more, like try to hide from those people that try to kill her?
I mean, like, she doesn't, like, the people that tried to kill her before are, like, more or less gone now, since most of those were in the Purple Universe. So it's like, come see, come saw.
Does Kiwi or Mikhail have a question?
I do actually, but it's more about like the school.
Yeah.
Is it
Go ahead.
like like just biotics, like or do they like most like schools? Do they have like basic classes?
Oh, they do have the basic
Around.
classes, yeah. Like Lund does teach a little bit of like biology as well because he did have that in his history. But they are specialized towards the biotic students,
Okay.
being mainly Asari because it was built on an Asari planet. So
Good question.
Are your characters pro or contra or against biotics then, like AIs and such?
I think he meant synthetics.
Synthetics, yeah.
Synthetics.
Yeah.
Sorry, he meant synthetics.
ooh. I guess,
I
do we
think-
know what Salo's been up to?
Yes.
That is a
Yeah.
good question because that would actually change the response.
I think from what I've been told by Quentin, he is not verbally told. I don't think he's informed anyone else other than his wife and family, basically, about Geth 2.0.
And the group here who knows about it because of
The group knows
necessity.
about it.
Hmm.
I think that Malik and Nell, unless you can think of any reason why they would know, have been kept in the dark of Geth 2.0.
The only thing I could think is Aya keeping in tabs on everyone. So she might have hacked into his systems, to
Okay.
Salo systems, but like I don't think it's something that. I think they have a more liberal. At least I have a more liberal thinking about synthetics than most people in Red.
Even with your hatred of the Reapers?
Yeah,
Still-
because she's also worked with synthetics
Ah, okay.
that
Yeah.
work for the good side. So it's like it's one of those where it's like she's come to the realization that there is more to synthetics than just death machines.
Good old Marauder shields.
Yeah, I think Lun is a bit is the same kind of just indifferent. He knows. Well, he personally sent most of the Reapers into purple with his fantastic mind control powers. And so far as where the ones who are all murder are gone, and he's in red where there aren't really any synthetics as far as he's aware of. So he just is very indifferent.
Okay. Let's move on to the other characters' warm up, and that is, what would your journal entry say right now?
In the hypothetical journal entry, Diaz will probably say, don't buy white hamsters. Don't buy hamsters from Elcor. Don't change clothes in the bathroom. Try to be nicer. And, college. That would be her journal entry. She likes it short and simple.
Okay.
Vito writes a lot. I mean, we found that last session, but I think the more I go, the more I just want to go home. I can't, though. It's like if I stop now, just nothing will work anymore. I'm thinking maybe it might be a little bit of curiosity there, but I can't help but feel like everything's gonna hit the fan. I mean, it already has multiple times. I guess I just gotta live with that now.
Nathan's gonna do this in the engine bay of the ship because nobody ever seems to go there. So he will like sit down, and he has like a webcam or a recording device set up, and he's gonna start recording. And okay, so this is gonna be difficult for me. I have seen a lot more than I ever expected to see on this trip. Not all of it good, not all of it bad. Some of it horrifying. Sometimes I wonder what my mom would say to me if she could see me right now. Sometimes I wonder what David would say to me if he could see me right now. Sometimes I even wonder what my parents would say to me. I hadn't thought about them in ever, in fact. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I shouldn't be so confident in my own ability to survive this, or even my own ability to be so confident that I know what I'm doing. I keep telling Vito, hey, it's fine, don't worry, we'll get through this. We know what we're doing. We're not all idiots, we're not all here to, do this. And then, I lash out at Gimmick, and as much as I understand that I can't control all my own emotions, I've never had anger issues. And here I am lying to Pip and telling her that I see a therapist about it. Never had issues with it before, never had issues with anything like that. And here I am constantly angry for some reason. I don't know why. I guess I'm recording this to say that if I give up, then maybe I'm trying to convince myself it's okay to give up on this. Maybe I'm trying to convince myself it's okay to go back to being just Nathan Callahan or whatever the galaxy wants me to be. Go back to playing by Audible and being a superstar and being this public figure and not being some sort of secret agent. What am I? What am I doing here even? Well, I guess if my mom could see me, she'd tell me not to give up. So, David too, in fact. So, I guess I'm not going anywhere quite yet. And with that, he'll stop recording.
So, I've been thinking. It's really nice to think, but this time they are not really nice thoughts. Because, well, as much as I try to make my place in the group and do good things, I always seem to fail. And I don't know, it's just that even though in my mind, when I do the numbers, seems like it will work, things always turned up like, well, bad. I used to think that there would be always a chance of doing things right, of not having to do anything bad, but now I don't know. It seems like, everyone else was right. And, well, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Maybe I just need to put more effort into it. And yeah, everything will be all right. There is no way things could go wrong if we try. Okay. I hope I find you soon. Bye.
The last thing I wanted to ask, specifically Malik and Nell, before we begin, is I've briefed them both on the major events that's been going on in the galaxy as of late, including what happened in the Trebia system. And I wanted to ask, how did this major event affect your character, if at all, considering how an entire solar system blew up, and not just any solar system, the Turian system? It happened relatively recently, a few months ago. So what has been the effect of this event on your character?
For Lun, a lot of stress. He's got students who had families over there who are now being orphaned, so he's kind of had to step in and become the guardian. He's got his own problems with the school happening at the moment, so there's a lot of stress. He's not really had much time to kind of think how it affects him personally, because it's a case of, I've got several kids here who had families over there. They ain't no more. And now I've got to deal with these kids and try and do all the legal work and keep them from breaking down. So
it's a little similar for Aya in that she has people that work for her that either had family in that system or actually were in, like, at least beyond that mass relay at the time. So it's it's a case of how do we figure out, like, who are dead? Do we even know if our people are alive or not? And, like, if so, are they trying to establish contact in a way that we are not sure that they are? Like, and if so, how do we get in contact with them? How do we get out there to see what's actually going on?
Do either of you believe that this is a one-time thing, or do you believe this could happen again?
If it's happened once, why I cannot see why it shouldn't happen twice.
Okay. How about you, Lynn?
Well, as we've previously discussed, which I won't bring up yet because I'm guessing you want it a secret, but Lun has got other issues right now, so that is probably a niggling thought in the back of his head. But that's been like, that's got to go back there for now. I've got all this in front of me.
Okay. So, your group just left the Binary Helix lab, of which Lun is, at least is aware of, just so she knows. So you go to the Institute of Zakita for Gifted Biotic Students, or whatever it is they're called. And what does the it's a big mansion.
Yeah.
So
I did this before Stan became a character, but I based this off Xavier's school for gifted students. It's literally called Zakita School for Gifted Biotics.
Right.
It's like the big gate with Zakita School for Gifted Biotics, a long like path with trees, and then there's this big mansion in the background.
Yes. So think X-Men, Xavier School for Gifted Mutants. So so I'm assuming it's gated, and the acreage of land is quite significant. But I will say that, I'll say that you guys will approach the main gate. It's in the middle of the day, and it's not unusual for them to have visitors, especially for prospective students. So getting up to the front door of the school shouldn't be much of a problem. And what do you guys do?
So my initial idea, and I'm going to say this to the group, Gasage, once we get inside, you cloak up and you go looking for the source of this dark matter. Keep in contact with us, so if you need anything, you can get back to us as soon as you can, or if you get, caught, just tell them that you're with us, and, you were, I don't know, you got nervous, or you didn't want to be around people, so you cloaked up and you went looking for somewhere private. I don't know. You can think something up. You're a smart person. I'm going to approach as I am, just myself. I'm going to say that I'm here to extend the help of the Danmus Foundation to any students who may have lost their family or homes in the Trebia incident, because that was started up a while ago, and I don't know if we actually ever had anyone come here, but in the same way, I'm like, okay, we should probably offer them help anyway. That gives me a perfect excuse for being here.
And if that doesn't work, I mean, I have bases in history. I could just say that I'm here as a representative for a new history class. I don't know. I could
That
find
could
some-
work. Yeah, that could work.
That can work. I obviously can fake being a student. It's not that hard, really.
Hmm.
But I feel like who else can go invisible here besides Cassage?
Vito.
You know?
And I think Gimmick can too in his drone form. Is that right?
What?
I think Gimmick can also go invisible in his drone form, like one of his
No,
drone
no.
forms.
You can go through walls, but it's not really invisible.
But you're indie at the moment, correct?
Yeah.
Because you
I have a drone
otherwise
that
you would.
I have one of the drones that can make itself invisible, but I don't have that power.
Let's
Right.
remember
Good
that.
one.
Let's remember that Koalan's with us. So let's not like.
Yeah.
So what about Vito and Cassage stick together? You and I, Nathan, we can enter in separate times, and then just explore the school.
Yeah, and Quallen, if you want, you could be here as like a Justicar representative here to see if there's anyone worth recruiting, maybe. I don't know how Justicars do their recruiting, but there you go.
I am here as a Justicar investigating the disappearing biotics, which is what I'm doing.
True.
There's no
yeah,
need for me to lie or give them a ruse.
You're right. Fair enough. That's a good question, actually. I wonder if any of the kids here vanished. You know what? That's an excellent idea, Quallen.
I can ask around about that, actually.
Sure.
Cassage is going to turn to Vito and say, once I'm cloaked, how are you going to know where I am?
That's an excellent question.
That's why my team works alone. It doesn't really work very well for a group of cloned individuals to be in some sort of group mission,
Well, can you communicate with me?
not without
No.
being heard.
Oh, well, out of character, can I know? Do I know where he is, like scanning and such?
No, because his cloaking is biological, not electronic. There's nothing to trace, really.
You could scan for
Heat
his
signatures,
DNA.
maybe. Heat signatures, maybe. But
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can just, like, if you find something, go to a safe place and say, "Hey, I found something."
I will inform you when I feel that nobody will be overhearing.
Oh,
Fine with
that's
me.
okay.
As long as you stay safe.
With that, he will disappear.
Bye.
When you guys approach the school, you will actually see a group of students outside. They are... looks like there's a class that's taking place outdoors right now. I'm going to say that Lun, Professor Rowlett, is teaching a group of students something outdoors. What lesson do you think you would be teaching them right now outside of the grounds?
I picture it's like a giant obstacle course that they're going through, trying to like improve their times with their like pull and throw and like their biotics. Dylan stood there. He's like a floating stopwatch in front of him and just tuts continuously to himself.
Okay. So you see that over to the left. Over to the right, by some trees, you see two other characters. One is a Quarian in a dark black suit. The other one is a female in a red suit right now, Aya? Yes, no?
Probably.
I don't know if you changed,
I
if
mean,
you've changed your look.
Yeah, probably still red, but red and black.
Red and black, and one of her arm is robotic. I will let all of the main cast roll a history. Okay, so both Vito and Dia will recognize Aya and Niha immediately, in addition to Lun immediately, because they were involved in the Reaper Conflict 2.0 10 years ago.
Dia is probably going to just like lightly tap Nathan's side, be like, I feel like those two over there might be worth talking to for you.
Yeah, it looks like what's happening is Niha and Aya are questioning some students. They're talking to a bunch of students. And the students look very troubled about something.
You think it has to do with the biotic thing?
Maybe. Could also be because they lost their family and friends. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're
Like,
right.
There's a lot of variety there. But I don't really want to just, walk up to them and be like, hey, I'm this guy. I feel like I should probably be a little bit more polite than that. You know what I mean? Like maybe head inside, talk to a reception, try and be as formal about it as I can be, I guess, even though that's not really my screw it. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and be as formal as I can about this because, I don't really want to set off any flags, if you know what I mean.
Nathan,
Yes.
you think I should stay as indie or go in as gimmick?
Well, if you're indie, you blend in very well because you're an Asari. But if you're gimmick, you also don't really, you can just follow people around and be like, I'm just an VI drone thing.
Okay. I will
Are
stay.
you are you
Yeah.
saying this in front of Koalin?
No.
Like Nathan
Okay.
is just sort of like, he doesn't know the whole keep it from Koalan thing, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
So would Gimmick be whispering this to Nathan?
No, gimmick would like approach Nathan closely and be like, hey,
Okay.
Nathan.
Without Koalin knowing what's happening.
No.
Okay.
Nathan would just be like, it's up to you.
I think that's the thing is that I think Vito has no idea that Nathan doesn't know, so it's just like it's a mess waiting to happen. But
Oh yeah, great, I love it, perfect. Nothing could ever go wrong.
So what do you do?
Well then, we don't have to talk to them early if you want. We should probably just go inside, act normal, as normal as possible.
I'm gonna
Maybe.
head in. Yeah, I got it. And Nathan will I'm assuming he can just walk in through the gates, or there's like a buzzer he has to press or something.
Yeah, there might be a buzzer.
Yeah, he'll walk up to the buzzer and press like the call button.
You'll walk to the buzzer and press the call button. Lun, it'll be at this point that I think the students will take a water break of some sort. And they look very, very exhausted and very tired. And one of the students, will say it's a Drell, a female Drell. She says, Professor Rowlett, could I go to the bathroom? I'm feeling really nauseous.
Go ahead. Don't take too long. If you feel sick, let me know and I'll send you to the nurse.
Yes, Professor. And she will walk over. And that, Lun, is when you can hear a sound nearby, which is the buzzer over at the front gate. And you clearly are the closest teacher to the gate.
I picture like his VI's like being, because he's got a little VI that's been probably programmed to the gate, so it probably just perched up, goes, the gate's buzzing, and just like looks like flicks his fingers like that, and the gate swings open.
The gate swings open, and you will see a small group of newcomers enter. You've never seen them before. Glun, go ahead and roll me a history check, please.
Okay, give me a second, please get the 15.
15. All right. Lun, you will recognize Nathan Callahan, however, because you remember that name, because you remember seeing him. You might have seen, you don't watch the sport, but I'm assuming in passing, you will know who he is as a Biotiball player, but you also know that name because he applied to your school.
Would I know him through Jax as well?
You would know him through Jack as well.
Kind of walks up to the gate, crosses on, going, I see I've got a celebrity amongst my premises.
So Nathan is 6'8", just to put that out there.
Yeah, Luna's looking up at you, but he's like this, like, so I see I have a celebrity. Because Luna's a small boy.
Nathan is 6'8". He's built like a freight train. He's got this long, sort of flowing dark hair, but he's got it tied up into like a really tight, not man bun or up bun, whatever you like to call it, just a regular bun at the back of his head. And he's wearing like just a very plain hoodie and jeans and sneakers. He just looks like he just walked off a ship and was bored and walked up to the door. Says, Professor Rowlett, I'm assuming.
Indeed. So what brings you to my school? I don't see here that you have an appointment.
Well, I don't know if you know the Danmus charity, the charity that I started in order to help and assist with people who have lost their homes and family in the Trebia incident, and I don't remember sending anyone out here to the school. And since I was on Nova Astra, I decided I'd visit anyway and see what I could do to help.
I see. Well, he'll kind of look to his VI, who like pulls up a calendar. Well, we have an appointment available in 2 weeks' time. Shuts the gate.
Yeah, this looks
Very
like
good,
girl.
Nathan.
She's like,
Nathan just sort of shrugs. Doesn't seem to bother him.
There was an
How tall
attempt-
is this gate?
I mean,
how
it's
tall is
very,
this gate?
very big gate. Like, I'm trying to think, foot wide. It would be definitely. Oh God.
15, 20 feet.
Yeah, probably like proper big expansive gate. Probably
Yeah.
cameras and a little turret on top because I had probably installed those.
Yes. Like an actual proper private gate is what I'm imagining in my own head.
Yeah.
He just looks up
Not
and down
something
at
you
it.
can easily scale. Let's say it like that.
Just
Yeah,
see
right.
Nathan- I'm
Nathan
just
could
seeing
try.
Nathan trying to scale it with just
He's just looking
you know,
at it
Lou
like
watching
Well,
like
you know,
it's
serious.
obviously in his head. It's obviously in his head right now.
I wouldn't
Yeah, it's
try
like-
scaling the gate if I was you.
I should point out that as biotics also can levitate and fly over things, so I'm sure that this school has thought of countermeasures for even people with biotics who can fly.
Who
I'm
said
assuming.
anything about biotics, though?
I'm just throwing it out there.
But
Because I know some
literally,
people are
even-
thinking it.
Yeah, but then literally, even with his back turned to Nathan, just goes, I wouldn't think about scaling the gate if I was you. That would be classed as a hostile attack.
Dia is going to say to the group, like, you know what? Let's just be honest. Let's cut the bullshit. Just rings again and keeps ringing until someone comes.
He'll then, the Lun's barely taken a few steps to kind of like looks over his shoulder. Okay, then, what is it this time?
Okay, cutting to the bullshit, cutting away the bullshit. We're here to, basically, we're here because, due to the disappearance of the biotics around the galaxy.
The Volus will say, yes, my name is Koala Nantir. I am of the Justicars, and I have been specifically assigned here to investigate the disappearances of biotics throughout the galaxy.
I see. Well, I do have a team working on it, but I will call the head of it over. At this point, I will hear a voice in the head going, there's a Vestigar at the gate. Do you want to come over and have a chat? Or just a car. Yeah.
Yes.
Be right there, honey. Okay, so you're telling me that you haven't been in contact with your family for how long again?
The person that you're interviewing is a young Asari, and she says, "It's been almost a month now. I'm not really sure what to think. They go off on trips all the time, but this is much longer than it has been since we last spoken."
Do you know if they went to Trevia regularly, or if they might have gone there this time.
They did back during their honeymoon, but I don't think that they would have gone back there recently.
All right. We will make sure to keep you updated on anything we find, and thank you for your time.
Niha will continue jotting down notes, and she'll say, "Aya, if you need to go see your spouse, go right ahead. I will continue questioning these students."
Yeah. Make sure to get everything we can so that we have as much information as we can get out of this before we try moving on. Okay. And I will head over to Lun.
So just a quick out of character question: how many people know that Irune has been reconnected to the system, to the Mass Effect relay system already? Like, how public knowledge is that?
It's fairly recent because like it's been a day, I think. So
Yeah, it's starting to become public knowledge. If Lun and Aya want to roll, we'll call it history as well. I think that's the most fitting. If you'd like to roll a history, anything above a 12 or above, you will be aware that Irune has been reconnected to the rest of civilization.
Okay.
All right, so you're both aware. You both found that out in the news. It's starting to pop up. Okay, so Aya will approach. Give us a physical description of Aya one more time.
So she is a tall human woman, or tall for a human woman of seemingly Asian descent. About, if I remember right, I said 5'10" originally. I think we're around that height. She's currently in casual-ish clothes, like not full armor, but like she is not. She's not like. She's not ready if anything happens. Her left arm is entirely robotic, so it's white metal hand with like the hand seems to be able to switch forms to other things. So like whatever is necessary for her, and she has a short pixie cut and a big scar over her left eye.
You'll approach, and again, Mikhail, Adia will recognize Aya instantly.
And she knows about these two's exploits.
I'm sure she's aware. Yeah, I'm sure she's knowledgeable.
It's not her best behavior.
That's rare. Well done. You actually got Dean to behave.
So, someone said they were a Justicar?
Lone point.
Yes.
Quallen.
Yes, the Ola says, "That's me. Goalan Antir. You. I know you. Oh, it is quite an honor to meet you, Miss Rowlett. I have heard many stories when I was a child about the many things that you've done as a service to the galaxy."
Surely exaggerated. Slightly.
I read that you are the head of a formidable mercenary group.
Well, yeah. We have accomplished a few things. So, is there anything I can help you with? It
Yes.
is rare for the Justicars to send people out.
Yes, but as you can imagine, this phenomenon or epidemic has been affecting biotics galaxy-wide. And considering, well, the makeup of our membership, it is of utmost priority that we get to the bottom of this.
So, what can I help you with? Like specifically, like do you wish to hire our services, or
We would like to investigate your school because we have a few leads that point in this area, specifically your college.
we don't mean to throw up any reason for panic, but there are reasons for us to believe that there is a possible source, or at least answers to the disappearances of the biotics, specifically at this facility in particular.
Well, there are the collection of some of the most powerful biotics in the entire galaxy at this school. No offense, Mr. Celebrity. Like, I'm sure you're, like, decently talented.
Nathan doesn't seem phased by it. He's used to the haters. He pulls out a cigar and lights it. Doesn't seem to care.
I hear that's bad for, like, your athletic lungs. You
Right.
I
probably
hear
not
losing
want to
limbs
be
is bad
actually
for
good.
everything.
Right.
Shink! It becomes a blade. Yeah, it has its advantages, though.
Right.
I have just Adam Jensen just buried into my head right now. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
Right. If you're going to come into my school, first of all, probably a call ahead would have been appreciated.
We only figured this out like 5 minutes ago.
You
So
still should have called ahead. Anyway, first off, no smoking on the premises, so please put that out before I put it out for you.
he flicks it
And
into like a nearby
with a s-
pond or something.
With a sweep of his hand, the gate opens. You can come to my office.
Thank you.
Koalin will graciously bow. Thank you, Professor. My apologies again. Your name? He asks. Lun.
My name is Lun Rowlett. I am currently acting head of this school.
Professor Rowlett. Thank you again for allowing us entrance.
You're very welcome. As he walks up, he kind of shouts to class, "Class dismissed! Don't waste your free time, please. I expect you to study your homework."
Yes, Professor. Of course, Professor. The kids will say as they start to file over to their next class. And you will, as you guys are going into the school, you'll hear the sound of a bell ringing, and you will see tons of students shifting around. And everybody roll an insight.
Nathan's
Who's
just
not
like,
the
"This
main
is
cast?
totally-"
The main cast can roll an insight. Go ahead. Everyone except for Vito notices the general tone of the students is that some of them are going about their day like this is any other day, but you do sense a feeling from the students that many of these kids have suffered loss recently, or some of their close friends have suffered loss recently. And clearly there's a lot in these students' minds right now. And you can probably deduce, especially with an insight above a 16, that it might have something to do not only with what happened in Trebia, but also with the disappearing biotics right now. Also, everybody roll me, who is a main cast, roll me a perception as you guys make your way towards Lun's office.
I found that a
He
lot
doesn't-
easier. So,
Diego's blind.
When Nathan like gets this whole insight, he can't like initially he's like, wow, it reminds me of the Grissom because I spent that long in Grissom. But then he's like, oh,
Come on.
Nathan's demeanor like visibly softens, because all these kids remind him a little bit of him when he was young. So
Yeah, the kids here, it's very preppy, so it's a little more different than Grissom. The kids here are a lot more
well off.
I don't want to say well off. Yeah, a lot more well off. They're a bit posh.
Posh.
Yeah.
They're a bit posh.
They're a bit too British for my
If
taste.
that's a word.
He's probably gonna have a little sneer against that. It's like, come on, posh.
Their uniforms are.
Oh, uniforms, EU.
Does the whole thing remind Vito of like his university on Surkesh? Because
Did they wear uniforms in Surkesh?
well, no, but like the
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna.
school-
I'll say.
That's-
Sure, I'll say so. I mean, I think it's got sort of a Xavier / Hogwarts feel, kind of, sorta.
Nice.
And I while you're making your way into the following the rest of the group, Niha will eye you and catch up with you and say, "What's going on? Who are these people that are coming into the school?"
It seems that they are investigating this whole biotic disappearance thing, and they are saying that there's a source at this school apparently. So I guess we are bringing them in to have them to have a little discussion going, and between us, maybe also have their heads tested, because clearly they got hit a bit too hard on the head. Because I mean, come on, kids have been disappearing from here too.
Source at the school. I know that we've been having a lot of disappearances, but I don't know if that necessarily means that there's some source here specifically.
Yeah.
She takes a look at Dukum and says, "Is that Nathan Callahan over there?"
Yeah. He's just as brass and assholeish as his reputation precedes.
Aya, you're not jealous, are you?
Did you hit your head too? I think we need to get you checked. Lun, where's the nurse's office? I think Niha's gotten sick. We need to take her up there.
You should know where the nurse's office is, but it's down the hall, to the right, then turn left, then turn right again. Go down D wing, and it's at the end.
Okay. You head along that way, and she'll give Niha a good smack on the ass.
She says, "Aya, there's students here."
Yeah, they're come on. You remember how it is being at college? I don't think I know anyone who didn't get an STD at some point.
Just side-eye Aya.
You went to a very weird college. You went to a very weird college.
Leave it to Aya to throw professionalism out the window.
You went to a very weird college, miss.
Actually, going over to the nurse's office is probably a good idea. I should probably check with some of the students that have been feeling very sick lately.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yes.
Niha, before you go, can you check insert name of that little Asari girl that spoke to them beforehand? See if she made it to the nurses all right. She said she'd come back, but I think she was definitely not feeling very well.
Actually, I have a
Yes.
insight, if you don't mind as well, madam. While you're there, could you check and see if there's many students reporting lack of sleep and nightmares, like very vivid, like almost real, surreal nightmares?
Or fevers.
Yes.
Intense fevers.
I will do so.
Thank you.
And she will go off. Eventually, you guys will get, all of you who are left, will end up in Lun's office. Can you describe your office to us?
It's very sleek, like black furniture with basically the design colors are generally either a dark gray, black with red tinted, red highlights. Very big, sleek desk, filing cabinet. Though in the corner there is what looks to be a large cat tree, and resting on the cat tree is a slightly grayed pie jack.
Ooh. Nathan tilts his head because it's adorable. Can't help it.
I mean, if you've seen Lun's VI, it is basically cat-shaped ginger tabby looking like. Oh, he's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Where'd he go?
But there seems to be a weird, odd, soft side to cute animals with Lun. That seems to be he tries to hide, but then he has this very obviously cutesy BI and a pie jack in his office.
The pie jack hops off and actually climbs his way up onto Lun's shoulder and just perches there on Lun's shoulder during the conversation. And he watches you curiously.
Lun will sit in a very big leather chair. There are sofas on the side as well, but then he goes, "So you've been sent to investigate the disappearances?"
Well, indirectly.
Indirectly.
We were initially tasked with discovering what happened with Terbia, how that became a thing, the whole supernova, etc., etc. We were in the Aru system.
We managed to get to Irune and were able to reestablish contact. But on our travels, as we investigated, we found some connections to the biotics disappearing, and so we just came to investigate it. Simple as that.
Dark matter, light matter, and various other things and variables in the system. In fact, two of our own, myself and Dia here, and he directs his hand towards the Turian, have been suffering phantoms and nightmares, though in Dia's case it's an awful lot more severe than in mine.
Mhm.
I see.
Can you tell me about the specifics of these nightmares?
Go ahead, Dia.
Well, besides the fact that they were too real for comfort, I saw our Amia, if you ever heard the biotic, well, the star who disappeared. I saw her grabbing from my neck. I was very feverish, almost in panic, and it was very weird. Whispering, just all very Lovecraftian, not pleasant at all, honestly. Those were my symptoms, at least.
Aya, when you were cross-referencing and talking to some of the students, you noticed that a few of them have been mentioning that they haven't been sleeping very well because they've just been waking up in the middle of the night. Some of them have talked about nightmares. Most of the nightmares seem to be about them being in some sort of isolated place, drowning in darkness. And some students have mentioned very weird feelings that either they're being watched or there's a presence in the room even though there's nobody there. And then there's been a couple cases where they mentioned that sometimes they would feel something touching them or grabbing them, but there's nobody in the room.
Interesting. I will note that down for later.
I mean, I have been theorizing with my fellow professors here of possibly an EZO poisoning, almost.
Well,
It's-
there-
It does have something to do with EZO. You're not wrong there. But it's not poisoning.
Go on.
You know how biotics work, right? The whole, small miniature microfields
Yes, I
of
understand
blah,
how
blah.
biotics
Yeah,
work.
you know how it produces dark matter?
Yes.
That's the problem. Dark matter.
Dark energy,
energy.
specifically, actually.
Dark
energy
energy.
is the force. Mm-hmm.
Dark matter is the thing that like space is made out of,
Yeah.
like
Right.
literally everything between planets.
Yeah.
Biotics and the mass relay, that's dark energy.
Yeah.
So dark energy is a force, dark matter is
There
a
is an
substance.
object. Yeah.
Yeah, dark energy specifically.
Yes. It's the dark energy being created by biotics and EZO and everyday use of a starship that's causing sort of a systematic overload from what I've been told and what I understand. I'm not very sciencey. I assume you'd have more knowledge about that than I would. In fact, I'm sure anyone here would have more scientific knowledge than I would. I was never very scientifically talented. I'll admit that much. But we believe that there is a large source of dark energy coming from this building,
Well, this
and it's
building
causing various things.
this building is full with biotics. Of course, there's going to be a large source of dark energy.
Larger than what was expected. A lot larger than what was expected.
And what evidence did you bring forward to show this? Do you have charts, readings?
We will show them whatever charts or readings that good old Kasaj gave to us before he vanished.
Oh, was there like an odd reading also in there, like something odd? Wasn't that?
I know that he physically showed you from his device, from his Omni tool, but I don't know if we established that he actually transferred that data to anyone.
We might need to get Kasaj back here for that.
1 second. And Nathan will jump on like his communicator and tell Kasaj to come to their location.
Okay. In a matter of moments, another figure will enter. He's dressed in he looks like he's in a Krogan suit. So he's a skinnier looking Krogan, fully masked, but he enters into the room. I don't think Lun would have seen this person outside of the gate. So
No.
it might be a little odd that he just kind of appeared.
Would
I
Lund
would
have
ignore-
sensed him though?
Yeah, it's a question. Would I have sensed?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that you will have sensed him. So I'm going to say that you probably were aware that there was another person with them, and you might have been able to keep track of where he was.
I'm gonna kind of just like leave back to going. For now, I will ignore the fact that you snuck someone into my school.
Oh, we didn't know how. Considering you slammed the door in my face, I didn't know exactly how cooperative you'd be. Speaking of
Have
which,
we-
you might as well put that, appointment down because I will send someone out here. The kids need something positive.
No problem. He'll go. Count, which is the VI's name. Can you put in that appointment in there for? Sorry, what was your charity called again?
Nathan Callahan, or
Yeah.
you can put it down for the Danmas Foundation.
Danmas Foundation under Nathan Callahan.
Yes, Professor Owlett, the VI will say.
This
As
is
they'll jot it down.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Kasaj. He has all the data you need.
This device has the ability to map out dark energy in the area, the figure says, and he will send you a chart that shows very high, extremely high readings of dark energy. And you will agree that despite the fact that this is a biotic school, that is way more dark energy than even a focused number of biotic students would generate.
What
in this
device is he like showing this on? Is it like
It's weird because it looks like it's an Omni tool, but it doesn't look like any Omni tool that you've ever come upon. Maybe it's a wholly different model. But it seems to function similarly to an Omni tool.
can you transfer me that that data so that I can take a closer look?
Nathan will just nod if Kasaj looks to get any kind of information. Just like, yeah, just go ahead, do it.
Kasaj will type something into his Omni pool and the data will be transferred. And it'll be pretty much exactly as I described it.
Well, thank you for this information. I will definitely look into this. After all, I have recently hired a new, well, you've seen my new head of security, and I also have a head of, well, they don't have an official role yet, but their general role is upkeep of the school. Who knows, maybe have a leaking something somewhere.
Oh, look,
Well-
Pounce has reappeared.